Ready, set, draw. Yeah, that's right. There ain't any second chances when you find yourself in the middle of a classic Mexican standoff. The only way to ensure survival is to be a quicker draw, and that means your bullets gotta go faster than the Flash. And by that, I don't mean Ezra Miller's downward trajectory, okay? Whether it's the epic Hollywood Westerns era or even some modern inspirations, there are plenty of badass gangsters out there who know how to flex their aim, so it's only fair that the TV Regent honors them like they rightfully deserve. Now, let's ready our pistols and enjoy the top 10 best quick draw scenes across films and TV. Never trust a bartender. They're always up to no good. You want to know someone who follows that principle? Denzel freaking Washington. That man's been the showstopper in so many of my videos. I think I should actually dedicate a whole playlist to him. Anyway, this time, the American gangster finds himself in the Western era where a bunch of fools are about to draw their guns on him. As expected, the man of action shoots all of them down in just a matter of seconds and gets back to questioning his bartender. But, strangely enough, the dude doesn't seem to know how to take a hint.
No, Mama. Easy. I got a family, mister.
They're better off without you.
So he goes for broke, and as expected, Denzel draws his gun once more and shoots him down before Chris Pratt can even blink an eye. I wonder how well Denzel would have fared against Star-Lord. Now, that would have definitely been a sight to behold. Man, The Walking Dead sure isn't what it used to be. After a stunning run of success, the zombie juggernaut kind of fell prey to its own propaganda. Alright, I might have channeled my inner Andrew Tate for that one.
Breathe and vape. You don't need air.
Anyway, the first few seasons were an absolute delight, and one of the main standouts was most definitely Rick Sanchez. Oh, wait, I mean Rick Grimes. My Netflix watch list is a little confusing, okay? Hardcore zombie fans will know the scene I'm talking about. It's where Rick, Glenn, and Herschel find themselves in a bit of a standoff when they come across a group of other survivors. There's a bunch of jibber-jabber, after which the leader of the gang challenges Rick to a standoff, but as expected, the sheriff guns down his enemies in the blink of an eye. Man, I miss Andrew Lincoln. He really was the rock that held everything together. No, not you, Dwayne Johnson. Go teach some Chinese. Jesse Pinkman was a character who eventually grew on all of us as Breaking Bad went from good to great to frickin' perfect. Of course, Aaron Paul's awesome acting was what brought the character to life, but I've also got to shout out the writers for giving him such a great arc. Take this scene in El Camino, for example. Jesse wants Neil to pay up, but he's so high on the white stuff, he turns into the Weeknd. Get it? Because he can't feel his face? No? Oh, alright, never mind. Coming back to the standoff. Neil thinks he has the upper hand, but Jesse mercilessly shoots him down and triggers a shootout with his henchmen too. Mr. Pinkman really has come a long way, hasn't he? He's become as intelligent as Walter, as calm as Mike, and as ruthless as Gus. See, this is how you create great characters. I hope the writers of The Witcher are taking note.
You tell the cops about me, and I am coming for every goddamn one of you. You understand?
Yeah.
Go. Go!
Keanu Reeves is an actor with zero haters. Well, maybe apart from Matthew Perry. Actually, that dude's probably still reeling over Kanye West making fun of Friends.
I'm sorry.
All I can say is that Chandler Bing should count his lucky stars that he and John Wick aren't in the same universe. For those who've been living under a rock, Mr. Wick is the most brutal assassin on the planet, and you better not mess with him. Of course, Santino likes to be risky, so he ticks off Mr. Breathtaking and immediately regrets it when they come face to face. Of course, the gangster is more spoilt than a gender studies graduate, so he sends his henchmen after John. There's a brief moment of tension as everyone gets into a standoff, but I think you all know what happens next, don't you? Yeah? Still, those are some very flexible moves from a man nearing his 60s. Keanu is the new granddaddy.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Star Wars creative team really can't do anything right, can they? We actually had a winner in Cad Bane, but the way his character gets brushed off in the final episodes was a very big WTF moment. Looks like villains named Bane always start off strongly, only to disappoint us in the end. Well, at least the Book of Boba Fett gave us an epic standoff between him and a still handsome Timothy Olyphant. No, seriously, what's with old men looking 20 years younger than they actually are? Keeping my insecurities aside though, this scene really ups the stakes as Bane states,
I'd be careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you.
says someone who doesn't have a nose. Oops, I hope Voldemort isn't listening.
I don't negotiate with gutless murderers. All of that isn't the quack they're calling the stifling slimy.
If that's not the quack to calling the stifling slimy.
Get off!
You just can't mess with the Shelby fam without facing the consequences, and I think the best example of that is Billy Kimber. Tommy and his gang get ready for a shootout and he brings out the heavy artillery to make everyone wet their pants. I mean, just look at that gun, bro. That's gonna cause more problems than paying $8 for a verified Twitter tick. Now, Elon Musk might not be a sharpshooter, but Thomas Shelby sure is, which is why he doesn't appreciate Ada's stupid little speech in the middle. Billy feels the same way, so he takes a shot, but of course, they were never gonna kill Cillian Murphy in the first season, so he gets back up and lands a headshot. It was so satisfying to see that grumpy old fool finally bite the dust, and nothing beats a badass speech like the one Tommy gives right after he wins his duel. Those goons better do as they're told because it's by order of the Peaky Blinders.
Kimber and me fought this battle one-on-one. It's over. Go home to your families.
Miss the older days when things were just so much simpler. I mean, I'm no boomer, but there's something about movies of the 60s, 70s and 80s that really make me appreciate the golden era of filmmaking. One of the most popular badass heroes to come out of that era is Clint freaking Eastwood, and this entry is from the film that started it all. Technically, Clint's known as the man with no name, and it kind of adds to his gangster vibe, but it's his quick draw against these bandits that actually cements his dominance. The scene in itself is pretty straightforward, so you really got to give it to Sergio Leone for directing it so well. People would probably remember Clint Eastwood better from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, but honestly speaking, his best standoff is definitely from this movie. But not that it matters though, everybody loves spaghetti westerns. I guess the producers made a lot more than a fistful of dollars from their investment, eh?
When a man with a .45 meets a man with a rifle, you said the man with a pistol's a dead man. Let's see if that's true.
What else you got for me? Huh?
Tom Cruise is the man who can make any mission possible. I'm on fire today, right? A lot of modern audience members might celebrate him for being the face of Top Gun Maverick, but true cinephiles will know the best moments of his filmography all the way back to Magnolia and Eyes Wide Shut. Another classic under the superstar's belt is Collateral, a Michael Mann flick that divided people in the beginning but has developed somewhat of a cult following. We also get to see Jamie Foxx as a typical nobody driving around the sassy assassin, so basically the same role he played in The Amazing Spider-Man till he became Electro. The cabbie gets the shock of his life when he sees Tom savagely shooting down a couple of stupid goons, and to be honest, I mean, I'd be scared too. Just look how fast he is drawing his own gun. I should also remind you that Mr. Cruise does his own stunts, unlike a certain Marvel actress who prefers to claim she does the same.
You're shooting ironwork.
Appears to do, yes.
The Coen brothers are amongst the top directors to come out in the 90s. From blockbusters like Fargo to cult classics like The Big Lebowski, they've done it all. But there's one film that kind of went under the radar despite being pretty good and also having its own meme. If you can't guess what it is, then it's probably because it's your first time hearing about them.
First time?
Look at little Goblin Jr. gonna cry.
So, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a series of short films that starts with the titular character showing off the fact that he's the fastest hand in the West. The man might sound a little bit erratic, but he sure ain't lying because, well, just look at him go. He takes down all his enemies one by one and even has time to smile for the camera as he lands a reverse shot to the bar owner. Now, I know killing people's bad, but the cowboy looks really happy while he's doing it.
Let me see here. It's hard to be on the left, but in the mirror it'd be on the right. Of course, we is both facing the same way, and the gun is upside down, so let's see.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the 90s, they were pretty cool too. Now I'd love to talk about legendary films like Jurassic Park and Fight Club, but they don't have any quick draw moments like the one in Tombstone. This flick's a bit of a forgotten gem, but it really showcases Val Kilmer as the badass that he's always been. His character seems a little bit goofy at first, but after a bit of a roundabout with his little pal, he decides to give him the money shot straight to the head. What really stands out here is the fact that both shooters carefully position themselves for the duel before they start the duel. It's exactly what encapsulates the idea of a quick draw and plays it out to perfection. Man, I should really go back and watch some more of these classics.
Come on!
Poor soul. He was just too high-strung.
And that's my list. Let me know if you agree with my picks in the comments below. You can also access my socials through the links in the bio. As always, like, share and subscribe to show some love, and I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.